Imagine this for a second. You wake up thousands of years in the past. No phones, no internet, no words, no hello, no bro, listen. And suddenly, a giant predator starts running toward your group. Now here's the problem. How do you warn your friends when language doesn't exist yet? You can't yell run. You can't text anyone. You can't even say there's a tiger behind you. So how did ancient humans survive? How did they hunt together, raise children, avoid danger, and build communities without speaking actual languages? Were they just screaming randomly? Did they communicate like animals? Or did they invent strange methods that slowly evolved into the languages we use today? Because believe it or not, before humans spoke words, they were already communicating in ways that were surprisingly intelligent. And honestly, some of those methods still exist today. Today, humans talk constantly. Where are you? What's for dinner? Send me the link. Why did you leave me on read? But for most of human history, spoken language as we know it simply didn't exist. No English, no Urdu, no Arabic, no grammar lessons, no alphabet. Yet ancient humans still managed to survive in some of the harshest environments on Earth. They hunted massive animals. They traveled in groups. They protected each other. They shared food, and somehow they understood one another. Scientists believe human language didn't appear overnight. It evolved slowly over hundreds of thousands of years. In the beginning, early humans likely relied on Aztec hand gestures, facial expressions, Aztec body movement, Aztec sounds and emotional cries, Aztec rhythm and imitation. Basically, ancient humans were using the world's first version of emojis, the power of gestures. The very first form of communication may have been simple hand gestures. Think about it. Even today, if you point at something, most people instantly understand what you mean. If you place a finger over your lips, everyone knows you mean be quiet. If you wave someone closer, they come closer. No words needed. Scientists believe early humans depended heavily on these visual signals. For example, if danger appeared nearby, someone might suddenly freeze and raise a hand. If prey moved through the grass, hunters could silently point in its direction. If prey moved through the grass, hunters could silently point in its direction. During hunts, making noise could get you killed. So silent communication became extremely important. And honestly, humans still do this all the time. If two people speak completely different languages, they can often still understand basic gestures. Someone pretending to drink usually means they want water. Someone rubbing their stomach usually means they're hungry. These actions are universal, which means ancient humans may have built entire conversations using nothing but movement. So technically, your ancestors invented body language long before they invented words. Facial expressions were a huge deal. Now imagine sitting around a fire at night. Suddenly, one person's face changes. Their eyes widen. Their breathing slows. Their expression turns fearful. Even without words, everyone immediately knows something is wrong. Facial expressions are one of the oldest forms of communication humans possess. Fear, anger, happiness, confusion, suspicion. You can often recognize these emotions instantly without hearing a single word. Scientists believe humans inherited many facial communication traits from earlier primates. Chimpanzees, gorillas, and monkeys still use facial expressions today to communicate emotions and warnings. So if an ancient human stared angrily at another person near the food supply, everyone probably understood the message immediately. Bro, did you eat my meat? Sounds before words. Now, here's something important. Just because language didn't exist doesn't mean ancient humans were silent. They absolutely made sounds. But these sounds were probably not structured words like modern language. Instead, they were emotional noises and vocal signals. Things like ah, huh, ooh, ha. Different sounds may have carried different meanings. One sound might warn of danger. Another could signal excitement. Another could call the group together. Even today, humans naturally react to emotional sounds. If someone suddenly screams nearby, your body reacts instantly before your brain even processes the situation. That instinct is ancient. Early humans likely used these vocal reactions to coordinate survival. Imagine a hunting group. One sound means move. Another means stop. Another means danger. And one sound probably meant Who forgot to keep the fire going? Because every group has that one person. Hunting required teamwork. This communication wasn't just useful, it was necessary for survival. Ancient humans were physically weaker than many predators. They didn't have claws. They didn't have sharp teeth. They weren't especially fast. What humans did have was teamwork. But teamwork only works if people understand each other. Imagine trying to hunt a giant animal with 10 people running in different directions. Complete disaster. So early humans likely developed coordinated signals during hunts. Hand movements, eye contact, small sounds, body positioning. One person may have directed the group silently. Another may have signaled when to attack. Another was probably panicking in the background. Again, every team has one. Storytelling around fire. When humans learned to control fire, something incredible happened. People began gathering together socially at night, and many scientists believe this changed human communication forever. Imagine ancient humans sitting around flames after sunset. One person stands up and begins acting out a hunt. They imitate an animal. They recreate danger. They exaggerate movements dramatically. Others watch, react, laugh, and learn. This may have been the beginning of storytelling, not through words, but through performance. In a way, early humans may have been creating prehistoric theater. Basically, the first content creators didn't use cameras. They used body movements and sound effects. And honestly, some modern internet videos aren't that different. So how did language finally begin? Now comes the biggest mystery of all. How did humans go from gestures and sounds to actual spoken language? Scientists still debate this today. But one popular theory says human brains gradually became more advanced as social groups grew larger. Simple gestures eventually weren't enough anymore. Humans needed to share more detailed information. For example, there's a dangerous animal near the river beyond the trees. That's difficult to explain using only hand motions. So over time, certain sounds may have become associated with specific objects or actions. A sound for water, a sound for danger, a sound for food. Eventually those sounds became symbolic, and slowly, symbols became words. Then words became language. Imagine the moment humanity spoke its first real word. And imagine if that first word was basically the ancient version of hey. That would honestly make sense. Children may have helped create language. Here's a fascinating idea. Some researchers think children played a major role in developing language. Why? Because children naturally experiment with sounds. Even today, babies invent strange noises constantly. Ba ba, da da, goo goo. Children are excellent at creating patterns and repeating sounds. In ancient times, younger humans may have introduced new vocal habits that slowly spread through groups. Over generations, these repeated sounds could have become stable communication systems, which means there's a real possibility that human language began with random baby noises. Honestly, that makes human history both impressive and slightly hilarious. Did music come before language? Now this theory is really mind-blowing. Some scientists believe humans may have sung before they truly spoke. In other words, rhythm and musical sounds might be older than language itself. Think about workers singing together while performing tasks. Rhythm helps coordination together while performing tasks. Rhythm helps coordination. Even today, humans naturally synchronize movements through sound. Sports teams chant. Workers hum. People clap together. Ancient humans may have used rhythmic vocal patterns during work, travel, or rituals. Over time, these sounds may have evolved into structured communication. So technically, music could be one of humanity's oldest surviving inventions. Animals communicate. Humans aren't the only creatures that communicate. Monkeys, dolphins, wolves, elephants, and birds all use signals and sounds. Some monkey species even produce different warning calls for different predators. One sound means eagle, another means snake. That's surprisingly advanced. So communication itself is older than humanity, but humans took it much further. We developed symbols, grammar, writing, stories, civilizations, and eventually, online arguments with strangers. Truly the peak of evolution. Imagine modern life without language. Now imagine if humans today suddenly lost spoken language. Now imagine if humans today suddenly lost spoken language. School would be chaos. Teachers pointing aggressively at whiteboards. Students pretending to understand. Customer service would become terrifying, and relationships, absolute disaster. Imagine trying to argue without words. Just intense staring, confused gestures, dramatic walking away. Actually, some couples already communicate like that. So maybe we never fully evolved after all. Ancient humans were never truly silent. Even before language existed, they had communication. Gestures, facial expressions, sounds, rhythm, movement. These systems became the foundation of everything humans would later build. Over hundreds of thousands of years, communication evolved into spoken language. And from there came stories, books, science, history, and modern civilization itself. But what's fascinating is this. Even today, humans still rely heavily on ancient non-verbal communication. A smile, a stare, a thumbs up, a warning expression. These behaviors connect us directly to our prehistoric ancestors. So the next time someone gives you a look that instantly scares you, remember that skill is millions of years old. So here's the big question. If you had to survive one entire day without speaking a single word, could you do it? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more fascinating stories about human history, science, and the strange origins of everyday life.